They're in the gate. And they're off. She's Mooey Mooey. Do Whatever It Takes is sprinting up to battle for command. And inside of them, Cameron Slough is close up too. Just behind them comes I'm Still In It, racing a joint fourth on the outside of Marina's Tina, and One Arrow is down at the rail. Around the first turn, She's Mooey Mooey went wide, but takes command and opens up 2 lengths. Do Whatever It Takes in second, and Cameron Slough down at the rail protects her spot in third. Then it's Marina's Tina settled in fourth, 3 lengths off the leader, followed by I'm Still In It and One Arrow. Rider lost the irons. One Arrow is at the back. Down the back stretch, She's Mooey Mooey opens up 1.5 lengths. Do Whatever It Takes is in second. Cameron Slough at the rail, comfortably placed in third. Then Marina's Tina racing in the fourth spot, 3 lengths off the lead. I'm Still In It inches up outside of them, and One Arrow has now officially been pulled up. It's She's Mooey Mooey and Kyle Frey. They're the whole way, leading it by 1.5 lengths. Do Whatever It Takes, joined and passed by I'm Still In It on the outside. Marina's Tina is very much in the thick of it, fourth, just 2 lengths off the lead, and then Cameron Slough. She's Mooey Mooey turns for home. I'm Still In It moves into second. Center of the course, Marina's Tina is now kicking in, drifting in while rallying strongly. She's Mooey Mooey, Marina's Tina. These are the two. Marina's Tina, under a nice tight hold, comes right to She's Mooey Mooey and right on by. Marina's Tina is too strong. Wins it by a measured half length or so. She's Mooey Mooey, second, photo for third between Cameron Slough and I'm Still In It. Is in now. And they're off. Dream Princess sprints out of the gate. Roman Empress has some speed. Flatter with Jules is hustled up to stay close. A Broken Breeze in the distant trailer. Hot Rod Mama. Around the first turn, and it's Dream Princess, the comebacker, leading the way by 1.5 lengths. Flatter with Jules is in the second spot, and then comes Roman Empress at the rail third. 3 lengths back to a Broken Breeze, who's 4 in front of Hot Rod Mama. Juan Hernandez and Dream Princess onto the backstretch, 5.5 furlongs from home. Leading 1.5 lengths to Flatter with Jules. At the rail, it's Roman Empress in third. A Broken Breeze is next, and now Hot Rod Mama gets a little bit closer. 5 lengths covers the group. It's Dream Princess to the half-mile pole, leading the way by 1 length. Flatter with Jules, the favorites 1-2 heading into the far turn. Roman Empress at the rail, asked to keep pace third. Followed by a Broken Breeze fourth, 3.5 off the pace, now taking third. Hot Rod Mama has tailed off. Midway on the far turn, Dream Princess and Flatter with Jules. Dream Princess maintains the lead. Flatter with Jules pushed along, trying to get closer, but Dream Princess maintains a length advantage as they pass the quarter pole and turn for home. It's Dream Princess, Flatter with Jules, 6 back to a Broken Breeze taking third. There's 1/8 of a mile to go, and Dream Princess still has something left and widens. Dream Princess came back fit, and she's much too good. Dream Princess leads them all the way and sprints home to score by 4.5 lengths. Flatter with Jules was second. Third went to Roman Empress in front of Hot Rod Mama. And they're off. Ziwa Tanejo out alertly, so is Captain Chuchis, and Sneaking Candy is quicker than both and up to take the lead. One Time Mark is under a tight hold down at the rail. Pelagio the distant early trailer. Mike Smith and Sneaking Candy setting the tempo into the first turn with Captain Chuchi's bit wide, and one-time Mark hugs the rail and goes after the pacemaker Sneaking Candy. Just behind them, it's Ziwa Tanejo, 3 lengths off the lead, and another 5 to Pelagio. They move on to the backstretch with Sneaking Candy, the target, leading the way. A length and a half, letting it out a notch. Now it's 2.5. Captain Chuchi second. One-time Mark on the fence in third. Ziwa Tanejo is fourth. 3.5 lengths off the pace, inching up on the outside, and Pelagio. Less than a half mile to go. And it's Sneaking Candy. Turf debut, leading 3/4 of a length to Captain Chuchi's, trying to turn up the pressure in second. Ziwa Tanejo has taken third. One-time Mark on the rail, fourth. 3 to make up. Another 3 back to Pelagio. They have a 1/4 mile to go, and Sneaking Candy maintaining the lead over Captain Chuchi's. 3 lengths back, one-time Mark. Pelagio is rallying in the blue, top of the lane, and Sneaking Candy, 2-length advantage. Captain Chuchi's. Pelagio continues to finish with interest, and down at the rail, one-time Mark, a 16th to go, and it's Sneaking Candy wide, but gone. Sneaking Candy makes every pole a winning one, scores by almost 2. One-time Mark was second. Captain Chuchi's and Pelagio. The gate. And they're off. Prince Prancelot sent out for the lead. Clever Clover has good early foot, and Refocus now moves up to take second. They're followed by Stay on the Fence, who has 4 lengths to make up, and Salsation is down at the rail. Easy lead for Prince Prancelot, who shows the way to the half-mile pole. Refocus now moves to engage a half length back in second, and then it's Clever Clover in the clear third. Stay on the Fence, asked to pick it up in fourth, 3 off the lead, and Salsation trails. Around the far turn, Prince Prancelot, Refocus within a neck. 2 more Clever Clover third, and then it's Stay on the Fence. Quarter pole, Prince Prancelot, Refocus, turning up the pressure big time at the top of the lane. It's Refocus and Prince Prancelot. Refocus going just the better of the two. 2 lengths back to Stay on the Fence, who's starting to become a threat in third. Final furlong, Refocus, Stay on the Fence. It's a Redem Exacta coming up. Refocus clear by 2, and it will be Refocus to beat Stay on the Fence, Prince Prancelot, and Clever Clover. One behind the gate, Miss McWhinney, as we get set to kick off the all-turf pick 3. And they're off. It's a fast start for Avoir. Tianma is up close in the early stages. At the rail, Toulouse de Trac is coming into contention, and Miss McWhinney is on the far outside. Ange and Ash, between rivals, moves up to claim second. Just behind them, Tianma, who was up close, is now 4 off the lead. Certitude is next, followed by Discrepancy, and it is a long way back to Smooth as Butter. Past the half-mile pole, and it's Avoir shaking loose. 3-length lead on Toulouse de Trac, and Janash between, and Miss McWhinney outside of them. Then Certitude in the green, 5 lengths off the lead, starting to make a little bit of progress. Discrepancy is next. Tianma has lost some ground, still a distance to Smooth as Butter. It's Avoir and Juan Hernandez just cruising past the quarter pole. No dangers yet. 4-length edge turning for home. Toulouse de Trac Engine Ash moves up to take second. Clear sailing for Certitude, who starts to pick up some momentum, but it's Avois clear by 6 lengths past the 16th pole, and Avois' consistency gets rewarded today with an easy W. Certitude, clearly second best. Tight photo for third between Tiama, who was picking it up, and Ange and Ash. And in behind them, it was a photo between Miss McWhinney and Discrepancy. Glory of Chrome to the outside. And they're off. Half Nelson is sent out for the lead. Zyzix has some good early foot. Glory of Chrome, Midnight Silence, and the pink between those two. DeJoria second to last. Yvette's Surprise is at the back early on. So it's Half Nelson with 7 furlongs to run, getting the lead by 2 lengths. In second, Zyzix between horses. Down at the rail, it's DeJoria and Glory of Chrome outside of that pair. Then Midnight Silence in the 5th spot, 4 lengths off the lead. Another 5 back to Yvette's Surprise. Onto the backstretch, and it's Half Nelson passing the 5/8 pole, leading by a length and a half to Zyzix in second, and DeJoria still on the rail in third. Then Glory of Chrome, 3 lengths off the leaders. Midnight Silence is next, inching up. And it's another 5 still. Nothing from Yvette's Surprise at this point. Half Nelson comes to the 3/8 pole. Has been there every step of the way. Zyzix, DeJoria on the inside. There goes Midnight Silence now up to take second. Another 3 back to Glory of Chrome, losing ground, and Yvette's Surprise is underway. Only 4 lengths off the new leader, Midnight Silence, who has taken over with a quarter of a mile to go. Midnight Silence goes on, leads it by 3 suddenly to Half Nelson. On the outside, DeJoria is next. Belated bid from Yvette's Surprise. Here's DeJoria coming swiftly on the outside of Midnight Silence, and DeJoria and Luis Contreras will sail to an easy win. DeJoria by 3.5. Then it was Midnight Silence second. Photo for third went to Half Nelson in front of Yvette's Surprise. Madison Ray will be next, and Granny Budgie. They've loaded rapidly. And they're off. April Vintage. Madison Ray has some early interest. Here's Elegant. And Elegant is now battling with April Vintage 2 lengths back. Miss Brightside in between horses in third. Invincible Molly was off slowly, but is suddenly all the way up to take that third spot. And Madison Ray races 5th, 5 lengths off the lead. Then Granny Budgie. She is Romantic second to last, and 4 more to Highlands. They move into the 4 turn with Elegant, the one to catch, leading by just under a length. April Vintage keeping pace and coming back in second. 3 more Invincible Molly third, followed by Miss Brightside, who's hard-ridden, 4 off the lead. Another 3 back to Granny Budgie, who's next. She is Romantic, purple color, starting to gain momentum at the top of the stretch, where April Vintage has come back on Elegant. Elegant just in front, April Vintage alongside. In the center of the course, she is Romantic. Invincible Molly is there, and in between them, Granny Budgie. Granny Budgie is kicking into high gear the final 16th of a mile, and Granny Budgie wins it by a length. She is Romantic, finished nicely in second. Invincible Molly third. It's a close photo for fourth. Involved in that, Elegant as well as April Vintage. We're in the gate. And they're off, and Cowboy Mike bounces out quickly, but Departure wants to lead more. And down at the rail, Lambo, the pace very fast early on. Direct Line is fourth and guided to the outside and goes a bit wide as well. Around the clubhouse turn, it's Lambo to the front, leading by almost a length. Departure is second. Cowboy Mike backs off that battle, and just behind him, it's Direct Line. 4 lengths front to back, 6 furlongs to run. And it's Lambo and Departure. Departure keeps the pressure on him in second. Then comes Cowboy Mike, 2 off the pace in third. Another length and a half back to Direct Line. Departure is now in front, heading toward the half-mile pole. Lambo at the rail ahead away, comes right back to be on even terms. Cowboy Mike is just behind the top pair, 2 off them in third, and Direct Line bides his time as the trailer. They head toward the 3/8 pole, Departure and Lambo. Departure a neck now. Lambo asks for a bit more. Cowboy Mike inches closer. 2 more Direct Line. Approaching the quarter pole, it's Departure and Kyle Frey, confronted now by Cowboy Mike and Juan Hernandez on the outside, going after him now. Lambo backing up. Direct Line has been at the back there at the top of the stretch. Center of the track, Cowboy Mike head and head with Departure, and Cowboy Mike takes over, opens up, and is quickly 3 in front. Cowboy Mike on the drop is far too strong. It's Cowboy Mike romping home by almost 6 lengths. Direct Line completes the exacta. Departure was third in front of Lambo. In the gate. And they're off. Tiger by the Tail is going out for the early lead. Goldfoot and Gorilla Boy have early speed when Heroes Fly is down at the rail. They're followed by Uplift. Transcendental settles in mid-pack, 6 off the lively early tempo. Gazon is next, racing 3 in front of Wrong Direction, and Potential Spam was off slowly and trails. They're covered by 15 lengths rounding the first turn. And it's Tiger by the Tail, leading by about a length. Goldfoot is in second. Down at the rail, When Heroes Fly. Gorilla Boy on the outside. Uplift between those two under a tight hold. Then Transcendental. At this stage, about 6 lengths off the leaders. Down at the rail comes Wrong Direction, who has 7 lengths to make up with less than a half mile to travel. Gazon is outside of that pair, and another 2 to Potential Spam. When Heroes Fly gets some room inside Tiger by the Tail. Outside of them, Goldfoot sprints up, and Goldfoot now takes the lead. Gorilla Boy is in fourth, 3 lengths off the pace. Transcendental racing between rivals, has a lot of work to do at this stage. Uplift is down at the rail. Gazon followed by Wrong Direction there at the top of the stretch. When Heroes Fly and Goldfoot on the outside just in front. When Heroes Fly fighting bravely. Gorilla Boy 5 back, Transcendental and Gazon a 16th to go. And it's Goldfoot putting away When Heroes Fly. Goldfoot and Kyle Frey win a length and a half. Didn't want to go in, but he sure wanted to run. When Heroes Fly was second. Photo for third involves Gorilla Boy along with Transcendental and Gazon.
A very happy birthday to none other than the hornblower for Santa Anita, Mr. Jay Cohen. That's right, today is Jay's birthday. As you well know, at the beginning of the meet, he was out sick. There he is, proudly displaying his colors in front of the beautiful San Gabriel Mountains. But today is Jay's birthday. He is, in my opinion, the best ambassador that we have in the sport, certainly at Santa Anita, anywhere in the country, I might add. But good to see Jay celebrate another birthday. He's obviously a huge asset to Santa Anita, and we wish him many more happy and healthy ones. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Quigley. And the Nakatani name is already in the Hall of Fame. That's because our guest dad, Corey Nakatani, has already been enshrined. We'll see if his son Matt can maybe make it in one day. I'm pleased to welcome to the seminar. Matt, happy Friday. Welcome to the seminar.
Tom, appreciate it as always.
Here's the biggest question I have for you. Who's the better golfer these days, you or your dad?
You know, we have some battles actually recently. It's funny, I get that phone call every week. Where are you golfing?
He's retired now, so he's got plenty of time to golf.
He's retired. He loves golfing. But yeah, we try to play every now and then, so it's a good battle every time we get out there. But
is there a little gambling involved as well?
There's always a little gambling.
What are you shooting these days? What's your handicap?
I'm about a 5 handicap right now, but I mean, obviously, it just depends on the day, you know. So I can shoot anywhere from mid-70s to high 80s.
Now, you know, Corey Nakatani's in the rearview mirror. You're front and center right now, but let's talk about your dad just for a quick second. He was here on Big Cap Day making the trophy presentation. He looked great. I didn't have a chance to talk to him. How's he doing and what's he doing these days?
He's doing great. You know, 5 years ago to the day that he fell, last year was August 4th. He got inducted to the Hall of Fame. So it was, you know, a
bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
And long overdue.
It was long overdue, but at the same time, like, you know, we all wanted it for him, you know.
Sure.
So I think it was kind of a closing chapter to obviously his career. And, you know, it was vindicated for what he deserved. You know, he's had an amazing career. And I always thought that he was one of the best riders, not only in his time, but ever.
Sure.
So that was it's good to see that happen last year. We all went to Saratoga, the whole family, so it was you know, a special moment for us. Today he's a horse show guy.
He's got a daughter that he kind of tools around not only North America but up in Canada as well, and all around the world, sort of.
He's traveling the country. I got a little sister. She's 15 now. You know, they're in the Junior Olympics level right now. They're trying to make the Olympics here when she turns 18. So they have, I think, 5-6 horses right now they take care of. They live out in Thermal, La Quinta area. And between there and, like I said, they travel the whole country, Michigan, Canada, Kentucky, I think is on the agenda this year.
Well, she's got a great mentor, that's for sure, from the sounds of things. Did your dad mentor you at all when you were starting out? Hard to believe, been an agent now for how many years?
God, this is my 8th year.
That's unbelievable. But when you first got started, of course, you had your dad's book for a brief moment as well. But did he kind of, you know, guide you along the path, or did he let you kind of sink or swim on your own?
A little bit of both. I mean, obviously, I was very grateful to my dad for the opportunity he gave me. You know, you usually don't come into this game and start at the top. And I think our second win was a graded stake.
Unbelievable.
So on the same day, we won two in a row on the same day. Yeah. So, you know, obviously I got to thank him for everything that he's done for me, but he obviously paved the way, showed me the ropes. And, you know, every year I feel like I get better and better. And, you know, here we are today, 8 years later, representing 2 different jockeys and, you know, 2 guys that are very special to me. And
let's talk about both of those, Matt. Let's first start with Umberto Rispoli. You guys are coming up actually on a 1-year anniversary, and Umberto's on the heels of a milestone. He's 2 wins away from career number 2,000 lifetime around the world, of course. He rode in many other jurisdictions before coming to Southern California. But you guys have had a magical relationship in already the first 365 days you've been together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, getting the opportunity to work for Umberto was, you know, something I've always wanted, and it kind of took the next step for me in my career. But, you know, since, like I said, tomorrow will be 365 days. I think we got over 110 wins.
Wow.
In that year. And obviously we want more. So we want leading rider titles. We want good horses. We want graded stakes, and we want to be there on the big stage.
You have to take the good with the bad, and unfortunately, the news broke a couple days ago, Matt. The closing remarks from the Carla Gaines barn had to be retired. You guys had a lot of success there. That's probably a tough pill to swallow, simply because she was kind of special to both you and Umberto.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, these horses, they're special to us, and when you find a good one, you know, they're hard to come by, and last year we won 2 graded stakes on her, and like I said, those are moments you always cherish, and you're always looking for more. So we're trying to find the next one to fill her spot, and you never know when it's going to come.
Now, let's not leave off Mario Gutierrez. You guys are like peas and carrots. You've been together for 5 years. That relationship seems pretty solid. What's it like working with Mario? Obviously, he's won multiple Triple Crown races.
Yeah, Mario's, he has the talent, and I really enjoy working with him. It's been 5 years. We have a special relationship with I would say he has a special relationship that he brought me in on with Mr. Redham. And like I said, the opportunities we get from Mr. Redham, and obviously the horses that he trusts us with, his stable. And, every day is a new day, and we just try to win as many races as possible.
We know you're a 5 handicap. Does either Umberto or Mario go out on the links with you as well?
Umberto has not played golf to my knowledge. I've tried a couple times, no luck. Mario's picking up the game a little bit. I play a lot with Mr. Redham, so we like to get out there. So I tried teaching Mario the same thing, and he's getting there. He's actually getting a lot better. He might play once every couple months, but golf takes time. It takes a lot of practice. It's not something you just roll out of bed and go play. So
we got plenty of time. We got 31 minutes left in the seminar. We're going to talk to Matt about both of his jockeys a little bit more, and of course find out who he likes on today's 8-race card. You might have seen the graphic before we started the seminar. All races are off the turf course today. You're going to see blue skies and sunny skies. The problem was yesterday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, an unexpected rain and hailstorm with thunder and lightning hit Santa Anita. Believe it or not, 2 inches fell during that microburst, and of course it caught everybody off guard. So we're going to let the turf course kind of dry out on its own today and be in great shape for tomorrow, because tomorrow's card is spectacular. And of course, there's plenty of betting opportunities today. We'll talk to Matt a little bit more about that. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Mirmati and get those changes on today's Friday's card here at Santa Anita.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. The main track is good, and we are off the turf today. No turf racing this afternoon. Here are the early changes. In the first race, there are no changes, but we are off the turf, and it will be run at 6.5 furlongs on the main track. In the second race, started the early pick 4, we have a blinker note. Third race begins the $1 pick 6. The all-turf pick 3 is now simply a regular old $3 pick 3. Since those races have been transferred to the main track, the wager stays intact, but it's a $3 special pick 3 on races 3, 5, and 7. In the fourth race, beginning of the late pick 5, no changes. The fifth will be run at a mile on the main track. Turning to race 6, no scratches or jockey changes. In the 7th, off the turf, a mile on the main track, scratch 2, Flavius. Scratch number 3, Sydney Street. Race 7, scratch 2 and 3, main track, and there is a revised morning line. Super high 5 wagering with those scratches. 8th race will close out the program. Golden Hour double begins in the 8th. Golden Hour pick 4 starts in the 7th. No changes in race 8. Enjoy your afternoon at Santa Anita Park. The track is good. We're off the turf. Post time for the first will be in 58 minutes at 12:30. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner in the studio. Tom's special guest today is Matt Nakatani.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Matt Nakatani. He is the agent for both jockeys Umberto Rispoli and Mauro Gutierrez. He's already had a busy morning, and it's our pleasure to have him here on the set. Matt, before we take a look at today's card, Umberto has won 4 stakes races so far at this meet. I wanted to show the highlight for the most recent one that he won. It was back on February 25th, just a couple of weeks ago, was the Wishing Well Stakes. It was with a horse named A.G. Bullet from the Richie Baltas barn. He hadn't been seen in quite some time, but Richie elected to run him in the stakes races. He got bet down to 3-1, and as you'll see, he basically went wire to wire. I thought it was a great ride by Umberto. So let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action of A.G. Bullet winning the Wishing Well Stakes.
And they're off in the Wishing Well. A.G. Bullet, very fast. So is Ice Dancing. And here comes Phenom. And Phenom sprints up to take the lead. Graceland Gray moves up to be a joint second. They're followed by Lunar Impact, who's 4th and 4 off the lead. Violent Runner is next. Ice Dancing, who broke well, suddenly 7 lengths off the leaders. Then comes Miss Lizzie, racing on the inside of Carmen Miranda. One Silk Stocking is second to last. And School Dance at the back of the field. They passed a half-mile pole with Phenom, the leader, has it by a length and a half to A.G. Bullet and Graceland Gray right together. Then Lunar Impact, Violent Runner is in 5th. Miss Lizzie 7 off the lead. Ice Dancing is next. Carmen Miranda is just behind that pair, trying to mount a bid 8 lengths off the leaders. One Silk Stocking and School Dance, they're at the top of the stretch. A.G. Bullet comes to Phenom. These two head and head. Graceland Gray trying to come to their inside. No luck there, swinging out late. Lunar Impact is finishing interest, and Miss Lizzie is coming on the outside. A 16th to go. A.G. Bullet opens up 3. Graceland Gray is starting to finish well, but it's A.G. Bullet. A.G. Bullet has won the Wishing Well. Tight photo between Graceland Gray and a flying Ice Dancing. Another photo between Lunar Impact and Miss Lizzie. That's 3 for Umberto Rispoli.
Matt, that's the type of day you want to have. 3 wins for Umberto Rispoli, capped off with a stakes win in the Wishing Well. You wish all race days were like that, don't you?
Yeah, I wish it happened more often.
Umberto really put up a really masterful ride there. As I mentioned, he really didn't go wire to wire, but he sat off the hot pace, 44 flat coming down the hill, and he certainly had plenty left. You must have known that A.G. Bullet was going to run a hole in the wind, given that performance.
Yeah, you know, she's always been a special filly. I knew since almost day one. Traveled across the country to go ride her at Turfway Park, and 11 months later, you know, this was the race for her. We were excited to get her back, and you know, obviously she's got tremendous talent, and she can only go up from here.
How do you make those decisions, Matt? You mentioned about going out of town, and it's always a difficult decision, right, as an agent, because you're going to give up some mounts here. You also might lose them going forward as well. You kind of have to juggle a lot of balls in the air at the same time. How do you make that ultimate decision of going or not going out of town?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you want to be on the best horses that possible. Umberto's actually going to go out of town in 2 weeks to Turfway Park again. It's just a matter of what horses we can ride in what races, and where's your best opportunity to win.
Now, I think during the Del Mar Summer Meet, Umberto wanted to go to Hong Kong to ride in a jockey challenge. And you're like, come on, dude, I want to ride at Del Mar. Don't go to Hong Kong. Who won that battle? Did he actually go and ride in that jockey event?
Yeah, he did. He left for a week. Terrible timing, because I think we were second in the standings, like 1 back from the lead at the time. But that was something that was done well in advance. I think he had that signed and done about 6 months before. So it was kind of about the time I actually got his book. So I didn't have much say what happened there.
I've seen in the past Umberto's son running around. It looks like he's a jockey in the making. He's got the goggles and the whips. I mean, you know, he's all in terms of wanting to follow his father's footsteps.
Yeah, he's got 2 little boys, and I mean, the funniest thing is watching them, you know, run around, and they're on a horse 24/7. Whipping and driving like they're they're riding.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. The next generation, as I mentioned, it's a circle of life. You certainly are making your dad proud, following in his footsteps, not as a jockey, but as a jockey agent. All right, Matt, you ride basically every race on today's card, either with Umberto or Mario. So we're looking forward to your information. And we kick things off in race number 1. And as both I mentioned and Frank Miramati mentioned, all races are off the turf, but they will be run at the originally scheduled distance. So race number 1 now will be run at 6.5 furlongs on the main track And race number 1 begins the 50-cent early pick 5. This race is for maiden claiming 3-year-olds in for a $62,500 tag. We've got a field of 5. The original morning line favorite is on the bottom. Number 5, Pete's Old Fashioned, who is 4-5 on the morning line now, is 9-5. But take a look at who the favorite is. You are off of morning line of 6-1. Number 2, Good at Being Bad. I don't know if you made this wager before you walked into the studio, but I'm a little surprised Good at Being Bad is taking the action. We haven't seen him since January earlier on, sprinting on the turf course. What can you tell us about Good at Being Bad, Matt?
You know, tough to say. Taking the races off the grass is always tough for us.
Of course.
Yeah, and this horse is bred up and down for the grass, obviously. So I'm not sure exactly what to expect from him today on the dirt. I think he's obviously a better horse than what he showed first time out. And like I said, these races are about finding their friends, and if this is the right day, you know, anything can happen.
And we see that you actually give a little love to the horse that's been on the main track exclusively, and that's number 4, Bowtie Boys from the Timiak Teen Bar. What'd you like about Bowtie Boys to maybe finish first or second?
Yeah, I mean, based off the company that he's run against, Tapalo, Two Back, Express Line, and Sharpezano, those are solid horses. I just felt he was probably the class of the field, and you know, he's had a little bit of a break, but you could see he's consistently working, which you like to see. So I would say he's probably the one to beat.
Going back to Good at Being Bad for a minute, we can see that he was working here at St. Anita. The last couple of works were down at San Luis Rey. Have you and Umberto spent much time down at San Luis Rey in the morning? It's not exactly around the corner from Santa Anita here in Arcadia, California. Have you had a chance to go down there and work horses for any of the barns?
Yeah, it's a little tough to get there on a race day, you know. Obviously, it's about hour and a half drive away
with no traffic.
With no traffic, yeah. And obviously on a Saturday, maybe Sunday morning, you don't know what to expect. So during Del Mar, usually we might pop over there. Obviously, we go over there for good horses, you know. But traveling from obviously our home here, we don't go down there too much. You probably should go more often, but it's just tough.
Considering the barns that are down there, you might want to visit a little bit more often, but it is a difficult place to get to. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're going 1 mile on the main track for maiden special weight 3-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 6. Number 3, Bonacqua from the Bob Baffert barn is again the odds-on 4-5 morning line favorite. You ride number 1, Brunch with Amy for the Michael McCarthy barn. First time going 2 turns last time out. Now second off a respite as well. What can you tell us about Brunch with Amy in race 2, Matt?
Yeah, you know, this filly's training really well. The last couple of works with her company, she's pretty much toyed with them. So obviously coming off a long layoff to go a mile, I thought she ran dynamite, and I think today she should actually progress forward, even run a better race. The key with her is, you know, she's gone 2 turns now, and a couple of the other horses that are the main contenders, first time stretching out. So I expect good things today.
Not only do you think Brunch with Amy is working out well in the mornings, but some of the clockers agree with you. So certainly that's not a biased opinion. And the clockers have indicated in their reports that Umberto is working in the mornings with Brunch with Amy. Is that in fact true? Has Umberto been working Brunch with Amy?
Yes, yeah. He's been on there, I'd say, the last couple of works. But like I said, she's been toying with some nice horses and working in company with nice horses. So expect good things from her today.
Is Umberto out here on a regular basis every morning? I don't know your guys' schedule. Like, is he try and stay fit and stay active and work as many horses as he can?
Yeah. And, you know, obviously try to work as many as possible. It's tougher on days where you ride 8-9 races and then you got to work a bunch in the mornings. But, you know, whatever we got to do, we're here to do. So, like I said, Michael's been,
a big supporter
of our team, and I would say pretty much every morning we're at least breezing a horse for him.
Race number 3 begins the $1 pick 6 sequence off the turf course, 6 furlongs on the main track. This is a starter optional claiming race for 3-year-olds. We've got a field of 5. Morning line favorite Nesso's Last Hurrah from the Jeff Mullins barn, once again at 4-5, according to John White. But you ride number 2, Maximum Capacity, for again trainer Michael McCarthy, 5-2 on the morning line. Last time out, dropped down in class on the turf course and won easily. Now you're cutting back in distance. Before we get your thoughts on the race, talking about workouts, I want to show the workout for Maximum Capacity on March 4th. This was a team drill, and you can see Maximum Capacity is on the inside. I wanted to show this work for a couple of reasons, Matt. First of all, it's on the main track. And as you look at the past performances for Maximum Capacity, his best efforts have come on the turf course. But this particular morning, this workout of 47 flat, was a bullet workout at this distance. Out of 70 runners this particular morning on March 4th, maximum capacity worked a bull out. I thought almost like the light bulb went off because, as you can see, the exercise runner, and I don't know if this is Umberto or not, really didn't ask maximum capacity for any run coming down the lane. The rider on the outside horse is actually asking and urging his horse a little bit more. But to me, this was kind of a sign or an indication that maybe this horse actually does like the main track, Matt.
Yeah, he's tried the main pack, obviously, in his first 2 starts sprinting.
With not much success.
Yeah, but I think he's obviously a better horse now. Like you said, he's beautiful, good-looking horse when you look at him. We tried entering him in a 2-turn turf race the last couple of weeks, and it just didn't fill. So that's honestly why we ended up here. But I expect him to run well.
And you also expect number 3, Nesso's Last Hurrah, to maybe be the main competition. That makes a lot of sense, right, given the fact he's run so well his last couple of races for the Mullins barn.
Yeah, it looks like there's plenty of speed in this race. Either, like I said, to set it up for a closer, but I would say the best of the 3 speed horses would be Nesso's Last Hurrah.
Let's take a look at race number 4 that begins the 50-cent late pick 5 sequence. We're going 2 turns on the main track, 1 mile the distance, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 2 other than. We've got a field of 5. Take note, number 2, Hero Status, is a first-time gelding. The morning line favorite at 8-5 is number 1, Flying Drummer from the Bob Baffert barn. You also ride a horse here on the bottom for trainer Vladimir Serin, Oviac class. Before we get your thoughts on the race, I actually want to show the workout here for the morning line favorite, number 1, Flying Drummer. This was back on February 13th, and Flying Dreamer is going to be on the inside. He's the gray, but maybe more importantly, take a look at who his workmate is that day. It's none other than Newgate, who wound up winning the Big Cap this past Sunday under Frankie Dettori for trainer Bob Baffert. So the work company is rock solid. Flying Drummer, you can see they paid $850,000 for it. So the expectations are there for him to be a nice horse. And although he gets outworked slightly by Newgate, which is certainly no disgrace, Flying Drummer, I believe, again, second off the long layoff here for trainer Bob Baffert, is actually going to improve off his last effort and justify the morning line favoritism. Baffert's always tough to beat, right, man? I mean, whenever you're running against him, you got to really cross your fingers and your toes and everything else, because he's going to come loaded for bear. And one of the reasons why is because workouts like this, he knows what he's got because this horse has been working in company with Newgate.
Absolutely. I mean, he definitely comes to the races with his horses ready to run.
And Oviac class has 2 career wins. Both of them came at Del Mar and both at today's distance. Now, I don't know if he's a horse for course, but I can tell you the clockers are also talking very favorably about Oviac class since we last saw him on New Year's Eve day. What can you tell us about Oviac class, Matt?
He's training really well. This is a horse that I think is just crying out for distance. Unfortunately, today's race was written at a mile. But
You'd like to see him go farther.
I absolutely would, and I think that'll be his day will come. But the benefit of today is there's a lot of speed.
Everybody else has speed, right? So you're going to get the best. You're definitely going to have the best closing kick.
I would hope so. And like I said, it's a tough race on paper. These are solid horses. You got the class of the field, obviously, Ginobili. And he's a one-way type of horse. He can set fast fractions and keep going, and he'll kiss these goodbye. Matt,
a question for you before we take a look at race number 5, and that is with both Umberto and Mario, how do you guys huddle up? In other words, after a performance or after a day's performance, do you guys talk on the phone? Do you go have dinner? Do you kind of recap things? I know it's not set in stone what you do every day, but how do you guys communicate in terms of who you want to ride back, who you don't want to ride back? How's that kind of all go down?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I like to actually keep the communication lines open, because obviously I think the best feedback is coming from your jock. Now, then, it might not always be right, but it's nice to hear from their side of the things. I'm a big numbers guy. I like to play a lot of the numbers and base a lot of our decisions.
Meaning sheets, ragazines, thoroughgraph.
Exactly, yeah. Just what I feel. If I have to choose between 2 horses, I usually choose the one that has the better sheet.
Mm-hmm.
But most particularly, when you get a lot of feedback in the mornings, obviously with your jocks working the horses, how they're doing.
Yeah.
And then obviously after the race, whether I talk to them directly after the race that night, my phone's always
the next morning.
Yeah, my phone's always open to either guy, and like I said, the communication is definitely the key to our success.
Speaking of your phone, does it like go nonstop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Do you ever feel like throwing it out the window? Because I'm sure early in the morning, late at night, there's people calling you, both with opportunities and also to kind of bitch and moan. I mean, you're only human, right? At some point, you got to say, leave me alone.
Yeah, for sure. I said the only time I'm probably not on my phone is when I'm sleeping. But other than that, somebody's always calling or asking a question or wanting to know something, or like I say, communicating with your jock of what's coming up, what's to look forward to, and a lot of times you got to keep them grounded too. You got to be their support coach and talk them through things and be their biggest supporters.
Bottom line is we all love the game, right? So it actually, it actually is a good thing when people bitch or moan or when they want to celebrate, because everyone loves the game. They just want they want to win. That's the ultimate prize.
Exactly. I think coming from me and my jockeys, we're the biggest competitors. I hate to lose, whether, like I said, whether we're golfing or racing or anything in life. I don't like losing, so you can catch me in moods too when we have a bad day and you think everything's going wrong, and then, like I said, you just got to get up the next day and try a little harder.
That's the beauty of the game. All it takes is one victory to turn things around. Race number 5 begins the 50-cent late pick 4 on the main track. 1 mile is the distance. $25,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. Field of 6. Number 2, Derecho Dandy from the Ed Mosier barn is the 2-1 morning line favorite. You write 2 in here. Number 1, National Jenna Rue for the George Papapadromo barn, and number 4, Worse Reed Sanchez for the Antonio Garcia barn. Let's first talk about National Jenna Rue. Actually ran pretty well last time out on the turf course sprinting. Of course, this race came off the turf course and now goes on the main track. But second off the claim for Mr. Papapadromo, I think there's some blue sky for National Jenna Rue.
Yeah, this is probably one race on the day that I wish stayed on the grass, because I think both my horses are grass horses. Really unproven on the main track. National Jenna Rue's, I think, never been on it. And Worse Reed Sanchez, 2 starts on the dirt. I know we're unfortunate. So like I said, this race with coming off the grass, you got to look to which horses have main track form. The 2 been knocking at this level. I rode them back quite a few times this summer, Del Mar, even last year. And he's a hard trying horse. It just feels like he always finishes for the exotics. Interests me a little bit. I was looking at this morning was maybe the 6, just because he's proven on the main track. Like I said, he's probably the only one that has a win on the dirt, I would say. He's the only one that has a win on the dirt, so might be able to catch a little price there.
1, 4, and 6 in no particular order in race number 5. Let's take a look at race number 6. This race is for $10,000 claimers. Fillies and mares sprinting 6 furlongs. We've got a field of 9. The morning line favorite from the Gary Studi barn taking a drop down in class off a victory is number 2, Irish Wahini, 8-5 in the morning line. There you are again. La Paloma Blanca was inside 2 races back, didn't fire, was outside last time and did fire. What are you expecting today for this runner from the Steve Knapp barn, Matt?
Yeah, it's funny, if you look at our percentages for Steve right now, we're hitting at 42% this meet and 33%.
I hope you're taking him out to dinner or doing something for the guy. Seems like he's throwing you a few bones.
I definitely need to. He's been on fire, so whatever he's been saying lately, I agree with him, and
you just say yes, sir, and I'll see you at the winner's circle.
Exactly. So I know he told me this filly last time was going to win, and she did. So Umberto put up a great ride. He reels her right back kind of quick, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And this is probably her level with her friends. The 2 obviously is dropping in class off an impressive win last time. Sometimes it's a little worrisome. You win a race like that and they end up here, bottom level claimers. But she's probably definitely the one to beat.
Yeah, they took her for 12-5 and they had some success with her. And so now they're being realistic. They're certainly going to be out on her no matter whether she wins or loses today. But it would be gravy if she were able to win and also get claimed. So it makes a lot of sense. It's just a short price that concerns me in a big field. Question for you, Matt, before we take a look at race number 7. A lot of talk in the last week or so about the Topeka track now being open, the training track. And I know there's been no workers over it, but there's been joggers, and Aaron Greider has been out there. Has either Umberto or Mario taken any horses out to the Topeka track yet?
Not yet. But obviously that's, I think, a key component for us. Your turf horses can obviously work out there. That's a major part of our business. And I think it's going to help no matter what, I think taking some of the the horses off the main track and getting them to the Tapeta. A lot of trainers are really looking forward to it.
It's a little bit kinder on their joints, let's say.
For sure. So, like I said, I think they have like a trial period for the first 2 weeks, so we won't have any workers out there. I don't make either of my guys get on horses to jog or gallop, anything like that. So the day it opens for workers, and I'm sure there'll be a line of people waiting, and they'll be out there and checking out the new scene.
Another new exciting development here at the Gray Race Place. Can't have that be implemented, not only for the reasons Matt mentioned, but also for the influx of Golden Gate horses that we're expecting down here during our autumn meet. Race number 7 begins the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4, linking our last 2 races here with the last 2 races at Golden Gate. And we kick things off going 1 mile on the main track for $40,000 claimers. 2 scratches. Scratch the 2 and the 3 leaves us with a field of 5. Now the revised morning line favorite at 6-5 is number 5, General Mathis, returning off the long layoff. You ride 1 in here, and it's on the bottom. Don't Swear Dave from the Doug O'Neill barn. You, Doug, and Mario have had a lot of success together. This was the race, Matt, that I wanted to stay on the turf course because Don't Swear Dave's last effort when he broke from the outside post was absolutely rock solid. Nobody was going to beat Cali Bay that day, from the Phil D'Amato barn, ridden by Flavian Pratt. But somehow Mario was able to get him down on the inside, turning for home, and he exploded late. I don't know if he's going to like the main track, but he ran almost a winning race last time out.
He did. Obviously it's always tough when you draw a wide post, going a mile on the grass, and Mario did a great job of getting over into the first turn and trying to save some ground. It's a big emphasis from our team of saving ground on the grass.
I think that was your dad's motto, wasn't it? I think you picked that up from your dad. Him and Bobby Frankel were always rock solid.
Back to the Bobby Frankel days. I remember he'd always say, "I'd rather you save ground, and if you go wide, you won't be riding the horseback."
Didn't leave the jocks many options, did it?
No, not at all.
What about Mark's Hip? Last time out in that same race on the turf course, went 45-3 and understandably tired late. He's going to be flashing speed you would expect on the main track, even though he's 0 for 5. You do like Don't Swear Dave. I kind of like Mark's Hip, but also you like, the layoff runner, General Mathis, to maybe round out the exacta.
Yeah, I think this race between the 1, Mark's Hip, and the 6, Atomic Drop, they're both probably going to show speed. Kind of relatively unknown for some of these horses. Obviously, if they're turf horses, now they're running on the dirt. I would say that's, for instance, Don't Swear Dave. I do like this horse. He's rock solid. He always shows up. He always tries hard. His dirt form's a little unproven, but I think today was the day we can get a good trip. If you see the 5, General Mathis, his run 2 back when he got washed off the grass, it's pretty impressive. Won very impressively. So the only question mark with him would be the layoff.
Yeah, he won 4 of his last 5 races before he went to the sidelines, and Kristen Mulhall certainly knows her way around a good horse. Race number 7, small field, but an interesting betting race, that's for sure. We close out the day in race number 8 with $5 Golden Hour daily double wagering, similar concept to the Golden Hour Pick 4, linking our last race with the last race at Golden Gate. Race number 8 is 1 mile on the main track for Calbreds, non-winners of 1 other than a good field of 8. Morning line favorite, the rock solid claimer, moving up in class, Nauvoo, first off the claim for former quarter horse jockey Cesar de Alba. 8-5 on the morning line, I should say. The sheets on this horse have to be through the roof the last 2 times out. The question becomes, can he duplicate it? And if he can't, what's the chances of your horse barely functional?
Yeah, that's obviously the question. Can he do it again? It seems like he's been going up the last 2 starts, and horse just shows speed and doesn't stop. Today, I think he'll get company out there, which I relatively like for myself, and barely functional. It should set up well for him. He's run on the dirt a couple times, and he's run well, so I don't think he's best on the dirt, but he definitely can show his stuff. So
Matt, in horse racing, there's a lot of focus on the sire, but we all know that the dam is where the horse gets quality from. So in your particular case, your dad gets a lot of the headlines, but of course your mom, Michelle, is kind of lurking in the weeds, kind of behind the scenes. How's your mom doing? Where is she at, and what's she doing these days? Yeah,
she's doing great. She's actually a steward in the Indiana Racing Commission, so she works out of Horseshoe, Indianapolis.
Wonderful.
She really enjoys it. Obviously, between our entire family is involved with horses, so can't get us far away from the track.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you once again as my seminar guest, Matt. You're a tribute not only to racing, but of course to the entire Nakatani family. Best of luck going forward, not only with Umberto's milestone right around the corner, but also, of course, with Mario as well. We want to wish you nothing but winners going forward, and thanks again for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Next voice you hear will be track announcer Frank Miramati updating us with any late changes. Make sure you start handicapping tomorrow's card, an outstanding, 9-race card highlighted by the Grade 1 Beholder Mile. It should be a great day of racing. First post tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, good luck and have fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. Track starts out good today, and we are off the turf. What are the changes? No changes in the first, other than the obvious one of a change in surfaces, 6.5 furlongs on the main. In the second, we have a blinker note. The third starts to pick 6, as well as the $3 pick 3 on races 3, 5, and 7. That wager stays intact, even though the races have been moved to the main track. Third race to be run on the main track. In the fourth, started the late pick 5. No changes. Race 5, main track, late pick 4. We have a blinker note. Blinker note in race number 6. The 7th is the start of the golden hour pick 4, scratch 2 Flavius and scratch number 3 Sydney Street. 2 and 3 are out on this race that has been moved to the main track. No high 5 wagering. There is a revised morning line for our 7th race. And in the 8th, start of the golden hour double. No changes. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. 28 minutes to post for the opener. When you see Jay Cohen, be sure to wish him a happy birthday.